Hey, in this video, I'll be going over Imaginarium theater tips in general, as well as some tips for the upcoming 5.31 as well. I'll be talking about how I was able to get 10 stars once it came out, as well as 8 stars when it first came out as well. I'll include timestamps so you guys can go in the section of the video that would help you guys the most, but I'll be going in order in terms of how I would prep for it. So I'll start with character building, then team building, then tips for the theater run as well. To start off with character building, I'll be talking about the concept of just sharing artifacts as well as utilizing rainbow pieces. By rainbow pieces, I just mean any one piece that is so good on its own based on substats. It doesn't even have to be so good, but just random pieces that are good in general because of their substats. And when you piece all of them together, you can actually come up with very good builds because of the substats alone. For example, my Xiao has pretty good pieces that I randomly slapped onto him, and now he has a very good crit ratio as well as a good amount of attack as well. Sure, he may not have the 4-piece dedicated set, but he performs well enough to finish the challenge within the time constraints. However, this concept cannot apply to everyone. For example, support units like Kazuha do need the 4-piece Viridescent set. And if that's the case and you're still trying to farm pieces for a 4-piece set for a character, then just prioritize getting the main stats correct. As long as you prioritize the main stats on a character, then I'll make sure that they're at least functional and usable. Min-maxing substats really just means min-maxing a character, but a character does not have to be min-maxed to be used and perform at least a decent level. If the main stats correlate with what your characters need, then your character should be able to perform good enough so that you can beat all the challenges that have a time constraint. And while you're trying to build for characters, keep in mind you have some characters that will help make another character's build better. For example, if Geo is in the Imaginarium theater cycle, you can use Geo Traveler C1 to give your teammates 10% more crit rate. Or if there's Cryo allowed in the theater, you can use Cryo Resonance to give yourself 15% more crit rate, or you can use Rosaria, or even both for even more crit rate. These are really just some of the main ideas to help make your characters more usable for Imaginarium theater. When it comes to team building, you can also see which characters you want to try getting or saving for some of the later bosses with specific mechanics. For example, bringing a shielding unit, like Zhongli in this case, would significantly help with the Primogems so you can reflect that damage. Or another example is bringing power units to the Gluttonous Mountain King to have an easier time killing it. When it comes to using your friend's characters, so like inviting the supporting cast, I strongly recommend bringing your friend's strongest character. And if you have a whale friend, that's even better. So you can use, like, for example, in this case, a C6 Yoimiya or just any other C6 character that would be very strong. I would also recommend that you choose a friend's character that you don't own. This way, this can be added to your lineup as a completely new character to your fleet rather than an upgrade. Speaking of which, if you guys choose to become one of the first few members of my YouTube channel as well, I'll also let you friend me until my friends list is maxed out. Currently, I have like 50 slots open. Once you become a member, just shoot me an email from my channel homepage with the same email you used to become a channel member, so I can confirm you're a member and I'll accept your friend request on Genshin, and then you can use my supporting cast for Imaginarium Theater as well. So in general, I strongly recommend that you categorize your characters into two categories. There's going to be a carries category and then there's going to be a fill category. Just like it sounds, your carries category is going to be like your main DPSs like Arlecchino, Yoimiya, like characters like those that can solo carry themselves with support, and there's going to be the fill characters which support other units or just fill slots in the team. They don't necessarily have to help as much compared to like a fully built support. If one of your main setbacks for Imaginarium Theater is not having enough characters, because not all the characters you want are level 70, then I would encourage that you actually make them level 70. I know it might cost a lot of resources at first, but if you make them level 70, you'll actually get Ascension 5, and this will grant you a blue pole. And if you do all your characters, if you make them all level 70, Ascension 5, you actually get 3 poles total, and you can get so many blue poles just from leveling up your characters. And this is also one of the only ways to actually convert resin into Primogems in a sense. So yes, you need a lot of characters for Imaginarium Theater, especially when you go up in difficulty, but just remember, just like I was talking about for the fill characters, your characters, not all of them have to be built to perform. Because if one of your characters just needs to be a fill character so you can move on to difficulty, and that's all you need, as long as your carries can actually carry you through, then your fill characters can be very useless as long as you can just put them in the party. Being able to put in a useless character in a party can help save your other useful characters for later rounds. The last team building tip I really have for you guys is to utilize some of the 4-star artifacts. For example, 4-piece Instructor is actually a very underrated set, and you're mainly just using it for the 4-piece effect, not because it's actually good for stat building. This is great on fill characters, for example, someone like Lisa. She's not very strong, and it's not really a character that you would use, but just putting 4-piece Instructor can buff the rest of your teams, mainly your carries. Another good artifact set to consider is also 4-piece Exile. This set's also very good for energy regen as well. A bonus tip for character building is being able to put on Thrilling Tales on all your Catalyst characters, especially your fill ones. This can make them so much more useful for being a fill character and can really help your carries do better in Imagine Theater. You also don't need these stars, like these ones, to actually get the Primogem reward. It's simply cosmetic, and it just means that you beat it as a harder challenge. Like, as you can see, there's literally no requirement for you to get the stars to actually get the Primogem reward. The only benefit of it really is when you look at your past performances, you can see how many stars you got. And when you look in your profile, you can also see how many stars you got for the current act. But it's not necessary for the Primogem rewards. Let me know if you guys want to see a monthly guide on how I do every month's Imaginium Theater. I would basically just do a run through and explain my thoughts on the process. So let me know if that sounds good to you in the comments, and I'll be sure to start working on them. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. I genuinely read every single comment and will try to respond to all your comments immediately. Please consider subscribing and liking the video if you wish to see more content like this. It's completely free, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Thank you so much for watching. You guys spending time out of your day to watch my video truly means a lot to me. I'll see you guys in another video.